Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Monday. Today, we will be applying what we've learned about conversions to solving real-world problems. And today, we're going to just focus on those customary conversions that you learned about last week. So our lesson for today is problem solving with customary conversions, and the TEK we're covering is 4.8C. Our learning goal and success criteria. Today, I will be able to solve word problems by using problem-solving strategies and customary conversions. So all we're going to do today is look at a few sample word problems. We've already taught you all about converting, so we're going to use that knowledge and just do some guided practice. So if you don't already have a notebook and a pencil, please go ahead and pause the video and grab that so that you are prepared to do this with us. Make sure that you're showing all of your work and really practicing this on your own. All right, so let's look at our word problem, our first word problem. It says, Mr. Shepherd has a piece of wood that is 8 feet long. He uses 58 inches of wood to make a shelf. How many inches of wood does Mr. Shepherd have left? So we are going to use our knowledge of conversions to determine the amount of wood he has left. Now I'm going to tell you, a huge indicator that you're going to have to convert is when you see two different sets of units in your word problem. So you see here, we see the word feet, and then we see inches. We cannot add and subtract inches and feet without doing some conversions first. So, as you see down here, we have our conversion chart, or a piece of it anyway. I took just the section about customary length and put that in here for you. So what we're going to have to do first is we're going to have to convert those feet into inches before we can do our calculations. So we know that we have 8 total feet. I need to determine how many inches that's equal to. Remember, we learned last week, if we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, we're going to multiply. We know that feet are larger than inches, so we're definitely going to have to multiply. Now think, what are we going to multiply? Well, if we come down here to our conversion chart, we can be reminded that in every foot, there are 12 inches. Very good. So that means we're going to multiply 12 times 8. And when I multiply those two numbers together, what do I get? Very good, 96. So that tells me that in 8 feet, there are 96 inches. Now, this was only step 1 of our problem. Now we have to figure out what we need to do to solve the problem. So remember, he uses 58 of those inches. We want to know how much does he have left. So think, what operation is that we're going to have to do? Did you say subtraction? I hope so. So we're going to take the 96 inches that he started with, and we're going to subtract the 58 inches that he used. Remember, we cannot subtract bottom up. We've got to go top to bottom. Since we cannot do 6 minus 8, we're going to take away 110, which leaves us with 8. We're going to take that 110, convert it over to 10 ones, and add it to the 6 ones we already have, which gives us 16 ones. Now we can subtract 16 minus 8, and we get 8. And 8 minus 5 gives us 3. So we know that Mr. Shepherd had 38 inches of wood left when he was done. Now, what if this question would have said, how many feet and inches does he have left? Well, now we've got to work backwards to get back to feet and inches. So we're going to take that 38 inches. Remember, if we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, we divide. So now we're going from inches to feet, and we're going to divide it by 12. So how many times does 12 fit into 38? Well, 1 time is 12. 2 times is 24. 3 times Good, 36. Can we do 4 times? No, that would give us too much. So we know that it fits in 3 total times, and if we subtract that 36, we have 2 inches left over. So we could also say that Mr. Shepherd has 3 feet and 2 inches of wood left. So these two are the exact same amount, 38 inches or 3 feet 2 inches. We're just writing it in 2 different ways. Did that make sense? Good. Let's try another one. All right. Here it says, Miss Winchell's hot tub holds 40 gallons of water. How many quarts or equivalent to 40 gallons? How many pints? So we're going to do 2 things here. First, we know that we are starting with 40 gallons. We want to convert that to quarts, and then we want to convert it to pints. So first, we're going to look at the conversion chart, and we're going to see that 1 gallon is equal to 40 quarts. So if I know that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, how do I figure out how many quarts 40 gallons is equal to? Well, are gallons larger than quarts or smaller than quarts? Very good. Gallons are larger than quarts. So now we're, again, going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So we're going to multiply. And we already said that there were 4 quarts in every gallon. So what are we going to have to do? Did you say multiply 40 times 4? Good work. So let's go ahead and do that here. You do yours while I do mine, and then we'll compare. Did you determine that there are 160 quarts in 40 gallons? I hope so. Good work. But remember, we have now only done the first part of this problem. Now they want us to figure out how many pints. So I'm going to change my color here so it looks a little bit different. That's probably going to be about the same. Let's do orange. Okay, so now we're going to come here and we're going to change those quarts into pints. Quarts to pints. So now I want to know, I've got 160 quarts, and I want to know how many pints that is equal to. So are quarts larger or smaller than pints? They are larger. So again, we're still going from larger to smaller. So I'm going to multiply, and I see over here that I've got 2 pints in every quart, so I'm going to multiply 160 times 2. Very good job. What is 2 times 0? Good. 2 times 6? It is 12. So remember, we drop the ones place here and we regroup the tens here. 2 times 1 is? And what do we do with this one up here? Yeah, good. We add it in there. So we're left with 320. So that means that in 160 quarts, there are 320 pints. That also means that in 40 gallons, there are 320 pints. So all 3 of these measurements right here, let me get another color. All 3 of these measurements right here, 40 gallons, 160 quarts, 320 pints, these are all equivalent. We are just naming them in different units. Excellent job. All right, we're gonna try one more that's a little bit challenging. This is really not customary or metric. It's just a universal standard for time. So we're gonna try a time problem together, and we're going to do that using a number line. So here you can see I've got all of our time conversions right here. So we're going to use these when solving. So let's read our problem together. Let me get my highlighter ready. All right, so it says, Cecilia arrives home from dancing at 6 p.m. She spends 30 minutes eating dinner, 50 minutes completing her homework, an hour and 15 minutes watching TV, and a quarter hour showering and brushing her teeth. After all of this, Cecilia goes to bed. Use the number line to determine what time Cecilia goes to bed. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this number line and we're going to go through each time amount, block of time that we have until we get to the very end. So we know that we're going to begin at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to put us a starting point here. Okay, I'm going to check that off. Now, the first part, she spends 30 minutes. Well, I can see that my larger hash marks are marked every 30 minutes. So I know that if I jump from this hash mark to this one, that's going to give me the first 30 minutes that she spent eating. Okay. Then we have 50 minutes doing her homework. Well, first I can go 30 from 6:30 to 7. How much do I have left of that 50 if I jump 30? Good, I have 20 more minutes. So if we look here at the little hash marks in between, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we know that every little jump is 5 minutes. So let's do 20. 5, 10, 15, 20, okay? So that gets us the next 50 minutes when she was doing her homework. Now we have to go an hour and 15 minutes. Well, I'm not at an even hour. So this is going to be a little more difficult than just jumping a whole hour. So I'm going to think about this in minutes. So instead of thinking of a whole hour here, how many minutes would that be? Good. Hopefully you came here to the conversion chart and you saw that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So first we're going to go 60 minutes and then we're going to go another 15 minutes. So count with me. Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Hold on. Did that little line disappear? 45, 50, 55, 60. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. All right, and then we have another 15, 5, 10, 15. All right, so that was her 1 hour and 15 minutes. So we can check that off over here. Oh, we didn't check our 50 minutes off right there. Okay. Then we have one more piece right here, a quarter hour. Does anyone know what a quarter hour is? Well, let's look at a clock. Remember, quarters means 4. So if I divide this clock into 4 pieces, here is 12 o'clock. If I go 1 quarter, that gets me to the 3. And if we count 5, 10, 15, that means we have 15 minutes. So a quarter hour is 15 minutes. So we need to go another 15 minutes in our number line. So here we go, 5, 10, 15. So there's our 15 minutes, also called our quarter hour. And now all we have to do is simply look at where we landed on the number line, and that's gonna tell us what time she went to bed. So here's 8:30 and here's 9 o'clock. So we know it was somewhere in between. So we have 8:30, 8:35, 8:40, 8:45, 8:50. So Cecilia went to bed at 8:50 p.m. Good job, boys and girls. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up our lesson. Okay, so we have practiced doing some customary conversions today. Remember that for all of these, you do have your star chart that you can use, and you will see these conversions in the chart in each of the problems that you do. So following this video, you will go into your independent practice. Remember to use your notebook and work these out in there to show all of your conversion work. If you have any questions, contact your teacher, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, boys and girls.